everybody. Jimmy with the Triple C Collective, and
Collin.
we are ready to bring you Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 11, Point of No Return.
Yay.
And whoo-wee, this is quite the episode.
Yeah, man. These two episodes back to back are pretty dark.
Yeah.
We're definitely we're hitting stride here.
Right. Well, I mean, we're in the last like quarter of the episodes now, basically. Like we're towards the last like 5 or 6 episodes here. We're in the last like third of them, basically last quarter or third. Oh, puppy. And so like unlike Fee, who has her trusty robot that is not going through the green gunk despite it possibly melting
exactly.
her wires melting that droid's wires.
Yeah.
We get feet. We see feet, and like in the last episode, we talk about like it was weird connecting these two episodes based on like not really like major plot points, but it's a good point that like I didn't really catch it when when I first watched it, but when we were talking about it, the Trandoshan thing about him getting information from her and talking about the pirate, I was like, oh yeah, that's really the connection to like what then happens basically here, especially at the start here. Like
that last episode didn't let you forget that he's hunting her and the Bad Batch right now, Omega. Yeah. And it was basically a direct connection to this next episode. But other than that, they didn't have much like story points that are going to connect to each other. But start off like on that moon planet with her and her yelling at her droid for not going through the green stuff. And we also see the Shadow Trooper kind of hunting her.
Yeah, and in the end, basically gets into her ship and steals the Bad Batches, like steals a bunch of like her nav plans or her flight plans of like where she's been recently, and kind of narrows down that like, well, there's this place that's out in the outer rim that's kind of out there that she's visited a lot, that she's thought she's like been able to cover her tracks by going there. Yeah. But it's definitely shown up a lot. He that Shadow Trooper, Shadow Clone,
he basically finds out about Pabu. He finds out the location for Pabu. Yeah. And before like she notices something weird and she goes to check, but he escapes. And as all that's
he sets off an alarm that like that nobody hears, like the droid down there hears, and like he backs away, but then the Shadow Clone's able to like disable it or turn it off or whatever.
Yeah. So he gets away, and then he basically calls for backup in this moment, and like basically calls Commander's Court, tells him to stand by. And he back on Pabu, the batch clearly took Asajj Ventress's warning as they're packing up and getting ready to leave.
Yeah,
they're heading out, and probably for the best, considering that the Shadow Trooper knows where they are now. So yeah, we get Omega and her friend, like Liana. They're kind of having a conversation about how they don't want Omega to leave, and it's like too soon, and blah blah blah, and maybe it won't be the last time we see each other. And we get the cute moment where Omega's like, "I'll just leave my my doll and these Tex goggles behind, so you can always remember us," type deal. Mm-hmm. And it was like it was a very like it was like almost like Omega's kind of given up a part of the last piece of her childhood in this moment. Ready to kind of like do what she has.
It wasn't it like I saw it as like a final goodbye to Liana. Like I don't think I don't think those two will ever see each other again.
Yeah, that's what it was, but I'm saying like it seemed like metaphorically more. It seems like her just like this is it. This is her childhood going away, like her friend. She's got leaving this nice place, and she's got to move on. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a cute moment, especially considering the Tuca doll in the last episode and how important that was at the end. Yeah. So yeah, we get that, and then we get the team's pretty distracted moving, and we get the Shadow Trooper ship arriving, and they kind of don't notice on the as the
On the signal, on their radar or
signal on the
whatever.
radar. They don't. None of them really notice because they're so yeah. So he hides in. He goes to that same cave basically Asajj was in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
parks his ship, and
He goes to find
yeah, he goes
Omega
to find
then.
Omega, and he sees her on like his binoculars and stuff, and he again now at this point he's like, all right, Commander Scorch, why don't you come? I got the girl in my sights. If I
Yeah.
don't get her, maybe you will when you get her. So yeah, he hurries up and shoots some like detonators at the Marauder,
Yep.
and luckily Wrecker notices in time, grabs
Yeah,
Gonky.
he hears like some
Yeah,
of the mines going off. Yeah.
yeah. So he hears and no one else grinded. He's kind of the last one like putting stuff on the ship, and he hurries up, grabs Gonky, and he gets blown into the ocean basically. Uh, and the Marauder's gone. So their way off the planet has just been taken away, and Wrecker's kind of thrown into the ocean here, and the team's kind of in disarray from the get go, and they have to figure out a way to get off the planet now.
Yeah, it is it's absolutely insane. Like the Marauder gets blown up from the sniper, like Wrecker's knocked out in the water, and then like Hunter kind of hears this like rumbling, like there's this like ominous rumbling, and then we see the Star Destroyer, man, and like the Empire's there,
Yeah,
and like they've got the gunlit ships starting to leave the like Star Destroyer and everything like that. They take out all of Pabu's like fishing ships and like skivs and all of those things.
yeah. Basically, they take away their livelihood as they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to just basically as the Empire's just like we're trying to just take away the escape routes and any way of them getting off the planet. But while doing that, they're ruining their fishing ports and like you said, their boats and their livelihood. That's how they
Yeah,
make
that's how they make a
their
living. That's
living.
how they survive there. Is
And,
like those boats.
one of the residents is basically um, telling that to Shadow Trooper, and who basically is like, "You thought that was bad? I didn't even really do anything yet. Like, you might as well just shut up right now because it will get worse if you don't."
That was insane.
Yeah,
Hearing
yeah,
that,
yeah.
like that,
Very, very
messed
cynical.
me up.
Yeah, very cynical moment. Yeah, so they basically, they got off. They got the Empire's there now. The Empire's going to ruin this planet too, just like every other one. And yeah, Omega starts blaming herself. Hunter's like, no, 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 no. This is the Empire. This
Mm-hmm.
isn't you. This isn't because of you. This isn't because of anything we did. This isn't because of anything we could have done. It's the Empire. They're just evil, and their intentions are not good. So, they basically start coming up with a new plan.
And they all split up. Like
Yeah,
they all
they
split up and
decide to
stayed.
steal a gunship, right? And
Yeah,
they split up.
the plan is to steal a gunship. So Hunter goes, making his way through the city one way. Then Omega, Liana, AZ, and a knocked out Wrecker and Crosshair are basically all together in a little room, like kind of hiding out there, checking to make sure like no troopers are coming or anything like that, despite their protection or their vicinity getting smaller and smaller of space of like the troopers just continually encroaching on them.
Exactly.
And yeah, Crosshair again repeats a few times like Hunter wants us to stick to the plan. Let's go and do this, and let's go. Let's go. Let's figure this out. Let's get a gunship and whatnot. We get a couple of cuts back to like Hunter then basically making his way through the city and getting onto like a gunship and everything, and like the pilot of that gunship trying to throw him like out. He's kicking like different troopers. I love when the troopers are falling off the gunships and we get an awesome like ah,
Yeah,
like some awesome like just voice actor work or whatever for it of just being like whoa, like of like the sudden like falls and stuff like that. It's
yeah.
so
And well, while this is all happening, the Shadow Trooper and Hunter kind of have a moment here, and he could take out Hunter, but he doesn't.
mhm.
And yeah, he shoots the other stormtrooper or whatever, and then like the ship crashes, and then Hunter hops right into that ocean and kind of gets away, and that's when we see the troopers kind of coming in on Omega and Crosshair,
Mhm.
and she tells them her plan,
Yeah.
which is to
Omega's like, I'm only one small part of this like whole mission of like defeating the Empire and like, like doing all of that. There's the bigger mission at hand. I'm this one small little part of it. So like what we got to do is I've got to give myself up, and like that's the only way to do it. And he's like, you're being naive, like we can't do that. Like there's if we put a tracker on you, they're going to find it, they're going to scan you, they're going to take it off of you. And then she's like, well, that's okay, you'll just hit the ship with a backup tracker. And he's like, maybe.
yeah, but those are that he's basically like that's a lot of things that you do all right. You know what I mean? And that doesn't
Mhm.
seem like a good, well thought out plan. And she's kind of right though. Like, what other choice do they have? As in,
Fair.
like,
I mean,
well,
it's fair because like
seriously, what else could they do? Like in this moment, like they're out of a ship. They don't have any other plans. They don't have any other ideas. Clearly, Hunter's plan isn't going too well right now, and
right. And
they need
like Mayor Ship
an
himself
audible.
and stuff, like any of the other people are all round up in like the city square anyhow, like just waiting for like the stormtroopers to just like either open fire on them or, corral them into like one of the gunships to take them up to the Star Destroyer or whatever. But yeah, man, it's insane. But Omega's taken through, brought to the like Shadow Trooper and stuff, taken to.
Oh, another point she brought up to Crosshair before this happened. She's like, "This is I'm only one small piece of this big plan. Like
Yeah,
everyone keeps focusing on me, but we need to get the troopers off Tantus. Like there's more than just me. This is bigger than me." And it kind of forces Crosshair to be like, "Yeah, this that's our this is our only choice to get to at least have some kind of way in." And
yeah,
she she's right. So yes, she eventually turns herself in and meets with the shadow trooper and they scan her for any tracking devices immediately, which she hands over.
hmm
And that's when Crosshair comes out with his where he comes out with and shoots his tracking device on it.
yeah. He tries. Well, no, he misses.
Yeah,
He
like
tries and he
eyes
misses.
exactly.
So like he doesn't even get his tracking device on there. But Omega takes this like, like this force like meditation, like kind of deep breath at the end there. So I almost wonder if she actually had two trackers on her, and since she just gave up the one because they don't scan her again.
Right.
So like if she had two trackers on her basically on the same point or whatever, only one thing would go off and they don't track her again. There could be a second tracker on her person. I doubt it based off of like kind of the reaction from Crosshair.
Yeah, I took it
That
as a she was tapping into the force, maybe, and maybe she'll be able to give him the location with that, maybe, or something. Or
possibly.
yeah, or like you said, yeah, she had another tracking device and was able to conceal it using the force or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, she definitely seemed at the end there to be using the force or trying to tap into the force.
Yeah, trying to do something a little extra there, which is great. I love it so much.
But with that, her on her ship, that's kind of she's back with the Empire, and
Yeah, she gets taken
yeah,
again. Which
the batch is where we started the season on. But
yeah,
yeah, we'll see.
we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the end of the episode. This episode was so good. Again, it was super speedy and whatnot, but like this was awesome. I loved it. I loved that we saw Fee again. Like Wanda Sykes, like sign me up every single time that she's able to come back. I love it so much. But this episode was great. I loved it. I know you loved it. So we're going to go ahead and stop talking about it now. I am JimmE with the Triple C Collective. This is
Collin.
We want to thank you all for joining us. Please like and subscribe to our video and to our channel. We hope you all stay safe. And as always, may the Force be with you.